The UK is making the creation of deepfake a criminal offense. Creating a sexually explicit deepfake to criminal offense. This is probably good. Let me see. Under the legislation, anyone making explicit images of an adult without their consent. Oh, so if it's a minor without their consent, it's fine. Gotcha. Will face a criminal record and unlimited fine. Unlimited? Okay, that's pretty dumb. I think it's the British legal system. So maybe that's normal to have unlimited fines. It'll apply regardless of whether the creator of an image intended to share it, the Ministry of Justice said. And if the image is shared more widely, they could face jail. A deepfake is an image or video that's been digitally altered with the help of artificial intelligence to replace the image of... So wait, why would this be distinct then, using a deepfake from just like photoshopping somebody's head onto a nude body? You know? Like, I don't know. Hold on. Recent years have seen the use of this technology to do wacky shit, incredibly invasive, violating worldwide problems, so we can legislate in this jurisdiction. Under the Online Safety Act, which was passed last year, the sharing of deepfakes was made illegal. The new law will make it an offense for someone to create a sexually explicit deepfake, even if they have no intention to share it, but purely want to cause alarm, humiliation, or distress to the victim. Claire McGlynn, law professor at Dublin, who specializes in legal regulation of pornography and online abuse, told the Today program the legislation has some limitations. She said it will only criminalize where you can prove a person created the image with the intention to cause distress. Okay, all right, that's something. And this could create loopholes in the law. Oh, not Dublin, Durham. Oh man, I'm really out of it, huh? It will apply to images of adults because the law already covers this behavior where the image is of a child. It'll be introduced as an amendment to the criminal justice bill. I don't know exactly, like, I don't know by what standards the UK courts have the ability to determine whether or not it was created with the intention to cause distress. I don't know what their standard for proving that is. How do you create an image with an intent to cause distress if you don't have any intention of sharing it? Yeah, would it count as sharing if you're just sharing it with the person you made it of? Yeah, I feel like my main concern here is the with malicious intent part, and AOC is trying to gun for the same thing. AOC introduced the bipartisan, bicameral Disrupt Explicit Forged Images and Non-Consensual Edits Act of 2024. Ah, the Defiance Act. I see. I was going to say that's quite a mouthful, you know, but that's what they were doing it for. The legislation will create a federal civil right of action for victims of digital forgery in which their likeness is created using software, machine learning, artificial intelligence, or any other computer-generated technological means to falsely appear to be authentic. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about the idea of introducing criminal penalties for, like, any artistic... Well, I guess it's not just any artistic recreation of a person nude. It's meant to be one that is made to appear authentic, which is, like, a pretty important difference, I would say. But how would you determine that? Would it literally just be like a realistic style? What if you deepfaked a person's nudes, but then you put it through an art filter that made it look like it was a pencil drawing? Would that then be fine because it's no longer being falsely made to appear authentic? Oh my God, Vosh, shut the f up. Soupy, wait, why? It's a good bill, move on? You! What is with you people? It's a good bill, move on? You're sorry, let me just close my eyes and allow the gray soup of legislative nonsense to be pumped down my throat. You know, no need to read it or look into it or think or whatever. These are pretty important questions. Endorsed by 1 billion organizations. Cool. I feel like this is worth risking edge cases. Just don't deepfake people. Yeah, I generally agree, you know? Yeah. But again, like, deepfake or realistic Photoshop. And I don't want to... I think it's important to not, like, rear too close to the criminalization of art, you know? Because that's a real slippery slope, you know? Once you get into the purview of, like the cops knocking at your door because you drew some, like, horny art of a character in a movie, but the character in the movie is, of course, like the actress, and it's like, oh well, hold on, it's like, I don't know. I also think, like, you know, sometimes there's behavior that's bad and creepy, but the state still shouldn't intervene in it, because if the state intervened in everything that we deemed, like, socially unacceptable, then we would be in, like, a complete police state. So what if it's only AI? Well, I mean, the AI thing is immaterial to the question of whether or not this is harassment of another. Yeah, this is really complicated. I don't really know. It's probably better to err on the side of caution with stuff like this. I wonder, does this bill also have a standard like the UK bill does that involves, like, this would only prosecute people who create these images with malintent? Because if that's the case, well, I guess there's literally no easy answer here. I don't really know. Click on the legislation. There's a link in the first paragraph. Something tells me this isn't going to... I love reading legislation. 1. In paragraph 2, by inserting competent after conscious. 2. By redesignating paragraphs 5 and 6 as paragraph 6 and 7, respectively. 3. By redesignating paragraph 3 as paragraph 5. 4. By inserting after paragraph 2 the following. Right. It's short, FML. Yeah, it's relatively short. But this is like with all the edits. I just want the full... Okay. Paragraph 3, 1, 2, 3. Digital forgery. Intimate visual depiction of identifiable individual created through the use of software, machine learning, AI, or any other computer-generated or technological means, including by adapting, modifying, manipulating, or altering an authentic visual depiction to appear to a reasonable person to be indistinguishable from an authentic... Okay, here we have the, like, reasonability standard. From an authentic visual depiction of the individual, regardless of whether the visual depiction indicates through a label or some other form of information published through the visual depiction that the visual depiction is not authentic. Okay, so you can't just put a big printed stamp on it and say this is deepfake. Okay. An identifiable individual whose intimate visual depiction is disclosed in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce means disclosure makes person recklessly disregards the identifiable but does not consent to such disclosure may bring a civil action against that person in an appropriate district court of the U.S. for relief as set forth in paragraph 3. Against any person that knowingly produced or possessed digital forgery with intent to disclose it or knowingly disclosed or solicited the digital forgery if... Yeah, okay. I think I get the vibe of this. By which I mean I'm bored of reading this. I also know that maybe 1 in 20 people in chat actually care enough to follow along with the actual legal language, so, you know, yeah. So would a realistic style of a movie character in their costume still be okay? Or if it's the actor in a realistic style, would it count regardless? I don't know. I think that, like, realistically, considering the fact that this is not a criminal thing, this is a civil thing, and therefore is only going to be an issue if you're sued by another individual, I don't think Scarlett Johansson is going to be suing all you guys for making and distributing deep fakes of her in the leather or whatever the I don't think there's much room, given the fact that this is civil, for that kind of nonsense to come about. I think it's going to be like, you know, people suing in pretty clear-cut cases where you're, you know, harassing them. It's amazing how influential Taylor Swift was in this issue. Yeah, you know, good on Taylor Swift, honestly. It is a pretty big, you know, it is a pretty big deal. Yeah, it not being criminal does help against the weaponization. It's not like a random civilian can obtain bad warrants to raid your home and look for dirt. Yeah, exactly. Civil action is fine. We need better laws for revenge porn and blackmail now. Well, we just don't have much in the way of federal legislation, right? A lot of it's state-based. What if I am Taylor Swift? Can I distribute AI porn of myself? Well, again, it's a civil thing, so you can't sue yourself. Yes, it's a consent thing and a civil thing, yes.